Thousands of years ago, a mammoth walked into a tar pit. It was literally across the street. And it died, and it was preserved so that he could fulfill his destiny and become a loop topic right here. That's a true story, so suck on that, creationism! Joining me now to help us make sense of it all, Assistant Lab Supervisor for the Page Museum at Southern California's La Brea Tar Pits, Trevor Valley is here. How are you, Trevor?
How you doing?
Dude, it's a pleasure to have you here, man.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, well, no, this is pretty cool because most guests like bring a clip and then we have to set it up and we go, oh yeah, that really looks funny. That made no sense. You bring something like, we get like the latest high-def plasmas and iPhone 5Gs and all this stuff. People don't bat an eyelash. You bring out some bones and they all gather like they're fourth graders, super excited to make a hand turkey.
Ooh,
So what exactly are we looking at here?
This is parts of Zed. Zed is our new Colombian mammoth that we found, literally right next door.
Right. Colombian as in not woolly.
Not woolly, no.
But huge coke habit.
Oh, yeah, huge, massive. Named for the Columbia River, actually, not Columbia.
Okay.
Yeah, South America.
Good to know.
But yeah, that works.
Good to know.
Yeah, much larger than woolly mammoths. Woolly mammoths were smaller. This is actually the right rib, his 9th right rib. So
9th meaning towards the back, so it's smaller?
Yeah, so from the head toward the, this is smaller. So, on a human, it would be right around
That's
here.
Incredible.
Yeah, the larger ribs are significantly larger. They're huge.
Right.
And this guy was massive. If you've ever been to our museum, we have one actually mounted. He's about 20% larger than the one we have actually in the museum.
So how tall? I mean, theoretically, like...
We're guessing 10, 12 feet high at the shoulder, plus a little bit more for the head and stuff like that.
And what is this here then? Is this? I mean, it looks like a tooth. I'm assuming it's not.
This is a toe.
What?
Yeah. So if you have your right hand, that's your 5th metacarpal.
Okay.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on a human, it's about that big. There you go.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how does this get uncovered? I mean, I know that they were basically building a parking lot across the street.
Yeah, there was a parking lot that, it was an above-ground parking lot. It turned into an underground parking lot. The problem with digging in our area is if you dig down far enough, you're going to hit fossils. When they were building your studio, they found fossils.
Right.
So this was part of an entirely different salvage. They found 16 deposits that we boxed up into huge tree boxes and crane them over onto our property, and a whole bunch of mammoth. About 80% complete is Zed, our Colombian mammoth.
So what's missing from Zed here? I mean, because that's an incredible find.
Some parts of his hands, some parts of his feet, and right now, one entire leg. So he's kind of like a tripod. That's
a cool balancing act, though.
Yeah, that's why we can't really set him up anywhere.
And how, like, in today's economy, how much will I fetch on eBay for something like this? Like, is this a find like this? How much is this worth?
This is priceless. Literally, you
could
can't.
bail out GM, right? Like, I mean, this has got to be worth.
Yeah, maybe, but
because this is what? This is 10 to 40,000 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really old. This was before people were walking in this area. Zed was walking around.
If you subscribe to all of that hullabaloo, I mean, the Earth isn't even that old. We know
6,000.
We get it. We get it. But now, here's the thing. Like, so we have this find. This is incredible. We just had somebody on our show a couple months back. He wants to clone mammoths. He wants to make that happen. Can we get DNA out of this? Is there some way we can make that happen?
Not yet. We don't have the technology for it. I mean, sure, Moore's law, transistors doubling every couple. Yeah. But,
what's the problem with this find then? Because this looks like it's in good shape.
It's because, see how it's brown?
Yeah.
Well, bones aren't brown. They're usually white. So there's a whole bunch of oil, asphalt, everything's packed in here.
Right. So there could be DNA in there, but
somewhere maybe way down in there, but we just don't have the technology to actually get that out and go, look, here, mammoth.
Why don't you just, like, at night when all the animals come alive at the museum, why don't you grab them then and just get their DNA?
When you're dealing, okay, now, this mammoth, he'd be 18,000 pounds. I don't even want to mess with that.
Even Ben Stiller couldn't take him down.
No way.
All right, so we have this, and this, I mean, this is a field day and a half for you guys, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
What happens now? Will you try to reassemble them and put them on display? I mean, do you have a building large enough to do that?
Well, we do. He can go on display in the museum, but not as you think, like as a skeleton.
Right. Not something I can pay a quarter and ride and get a photo of with a cowboy hat on.
He's the tripod, so it'd be like falling over. What we're thinking is an entirely new type of display where we take the illustration of the map where all his skeleton was all laid out, blow it up to actual size, and then place the bones in place. So when you walk up to it, you're like, whoa. There's a skeleton of a dead mammoth here.
Any ETA on when we might see something like that across the street?
Years. Okay. We're still cleaning him off.
Wow.
We just got to his pelvis and one of the tusks. That's what makes him very important. we've never recovered complete tusk material ever at the tar pits.
That's incredible.
We have both of them.
Wow.
That's cool.
Well, hopefully when you get them all pressure washed, you can parade them on here through the show, because we'd love to see them.
Yeah, they're about 10 feet long, 3 feet around. So,
We'll use Seacrest's studio. It's fine. He's got more room. Trevor, dude, it's an absolute pleasure, man. Thank you for bringing this stuff on. Really, this is incredible stuff. You guys have to see it. And that's the loop.